So you can take a seat or lie down, closing the eyes, opening the palms, and taking a few deep breaths. And then resting your awareness to the breath. And starting to see if you can sense a shift in your state of being. And there will be a day where I say that, sensing a shift in your state of being, and then you will think to yourself, I don't feel a shift in my state of being. And this will be the day that you've allowed yourself to stay in your natural state. So actually what is happening every stream, regardless of what angle we are exploring, vibrationally, you are pivoting from the personal state into the infinite state, into your natural state. And you can feel your natural state of being in different ways. First of all, when we connect to the natural state of being, it can be that things start to complete. So it can be that there are some tears, that there is some heat, some emotionality coming up. When we shift into our natural state of being, it can be that things start to pulsate, vibrate inside you. You may become aware of this ascension current that goes from the base to the crown. And that is basically the movement that supports everything flowing up and out. And everything flowing up and out is everything that is connected to the personal. And the personal, the identity, the construct actually. And the construct has been built on stored energy that we couldn't process in the past, of things that stuck inside us because of programming and conditioning, because of loops and patterns. So when we connect to our natural state, to presence, these things can start to flow up and out. And we may also feel a calm. We may also feel a space. We may also feel a love or a warmth or some quiet vibration. So it's beautiful to recognize that when you sit here, or when actually you are in contact with anyone that is anchored in presence, it's very easy to start shifting into that yourself. And the more you do that, the more everything flows up and out. And the more you start to experience life from a spacious, loving way, instead of a stressful, overwhelmed way. And at some point, you start to recognize that your state doesn't shift. Because actually, your state of being never shifted. You're always in your natural state. But your form is catching up with that truth, with that presence, with that emanation of light, with that pure love. And so at some point, what seemed like such an overwhelming experience when you first meet it, when you first recognize the light experientially, when you first feel the pure love experientially, or when you first snap out of this identity-based way of being into pure presence, it can feel like a huge experience. What can release, the waves that can release, they can feel like huge experiences too. But at some point, it's almost like more and more easy to recognize who and what you actually are, and who and what we collectively actually are. And who and what we collectively actually are is this warm, loving neutrality. So just take a breath. And seeing that, if anything, this time here is about recognizing that you are a warm, loving neutrality. And that in allowing that consciously to be so, the perceived miraculous is possible. Because this warm, loving neutrality that you are doesn't exist in time. It exists outside of time. It exists out of programming, out of loops, out of patterns. It resides in a space that is untouched and that will always be untouched. So that's a lovely thing to recognize, that no matter what happened to me in my life, that space has never been touched. The truth of myself has never been touched. And then by living in that truth more and more, you're actually a place that can receive every potential. We don't have to be busy with what that looks like. We don't have to steer anything about it. The blessing in and of itself is to live as truth for you. And yet somehow, what we perceive to be the miraculous is possible. So breathe and relax. And just allowing this essence, this presence, this natural state to move in accordance to your highest and best, to inform your form, body, mind, energy, in the way that is the highest and best for you in this moment. Seeing if there is anything that you are ready to let go of, you're ready to step out of. And then also starting to notice that if we humbly and lovingly ask to be supported in stepping out of something, that so it is. And it is so because with absolute clarity, you know it is so. And this is not manifesting because you are not guiding the energy into doing something specifically for you at the level of your personality. You're aligning with your essential nature, and you're allowing that essential nature to move at your highest and best, to break you free of the confinements of the personal. So it's actually holding the space for the unwinding and the unraveling of the created self until you are fully aligned with presence, with the love that you are, with source. A place where source exists, a place where soul exists. And then whatever your humanity is, so whatever you're going through at your human level, you actually experience it from source. And it doesn't mean that we don't go through things. It doesn't mean that we don't go through illnesses or life experiences or loss or things. It just means that that is the avenue through which we get to model pure potential. This is the experience through which we get to make soul accessible. What if you look at your life like that? What if your life is no longer about what you wish to attain on a personal level, but seeing that you can humbly and lovingly ask creation to allow all the layers to shed until you know yourself as creation, and then your experience of every moment is creation. It's love, it's light, it's presence. It's truly beautiful because that's who and what we all are. We all are truly beautiful, and it feels delicious to tap into that beauty of the being, beauty of the soul, beauty of the essence. And then your life is about service because you already have it all. You already are it all. There's nothing that anybody can give you from that place because it includes all. It's hard to explain, but we can start to experience it. There's also nothing that someone can take away from that place because it includes all. So it allows you to stand in your human life in a completely different way. And then if you go through an illness, you get the blessing of bringing light, love, and presence through that experience to make it accessible for other people that are going through the same thing, to model that we can go through life with grace, with warmth, with compassion, with care. If your heart gets broken, you get to model it from this state. That, hey, maybe when my heart gets broken, I actually recognize that the tunnel through which the love went from one body to the other body actually is broken open so that the love can flow freely and be recognized everywhere. And it's ways of being that are not so common yet on earth. And it's a beautiful thing that no matter what your journey brings, that you can start to recognize that you are a place where light and love is present. So if you go through things with family members or you find yourself in therapeutic sessions, maybe you are there to bring the light, the love, and the presence to the place, to bring the consciousness to the place. Because in the end of the day, I feel like our life is about completing one way of being until it's not about that. And then our life is about being our essential self. And this looks still however it looks, right? Life will move us to bring light, love, and presence into places and spaces by bringing us experiences. So the correlation to allowing this to be the case and being rich, being famous, being successful, being healthy, we don't have to make that correlation because then there is a condition to the truth and there is no condition to the truth of you. It just is, and it's equally present everywhere. And you can start to so profoundly feel that and recognize that, that then it becomes about something entirely different. Then it becomes about, wow, I get to actually hold this body, mind, energy in accordance to soul and source and truth and pure love. And I get to live as this compassionate place where pure love exists. And there's so much gratitude in that, that bring me where I need to go, bring me the experiences that I need to have. Allow me to model grace in the midst of life. Allow me to model a different potential to humanity because really we are not defined. We are by no means defined by our situations and our circumstances. And there is an opportunity here, a beautiful one. First of all, for you to wake up to the truth of yourself. Then for you to hold space for the mechanism that this introduction brings, which is the alleviation, the completion of the energies and the habits that our created self was built upon. And then more and more recognizing, hey, my state of being isn't shifting anymore. I'm actually always in my natural state. And allowing that to expand within yourself, the peace to expand within yourself, the lack of pushback to expand within yourself, that hey, more and more I'm not going to fight life, I'm not going to push back at life, right? I'm going to voice myself with honesty and I'm going to advocate on behalf of myself, but I'm not going to push back inside myself at what life is doing or showing me. I'm going to be so committed to the truth of myself. And I recognize that being committed to the truth of myself is voicing myself in this world too and placing myself in accordance to what's loving. And at the same time, I recognize that life can now start to bring me whatever it needs to bring me through the rest of my life, and I shall experience it from this place. And for me, this is an incredibly moving thing. Because think about it, when you have the experience of warmth and love and fullness and beauty within you, right? When that rotation has completed and you are anchored in that, then does it really matter what life is serving you? Then isn't every experience something that you can carry because you carry it from love and grace? And I think that there are so many beautiful examples of this in the world, of people that externally have gone through such challenge, and what blossomed in the midst of that challenge actually is the love we all share, actually is the recognition of beauty in every single thing. So just keep breathing and relaxing. What if today you just want what life wants for you? And what if your only agenda is to humbly and lovingly ask every day to go through it from a place of truth, warmth, love, connection, calm, clarity? Because this is really how I have seen it, see it, feel it, have experienced it, am experiencing it more and more. That there is the recognition of beauty inside us, inside others, and inside all life experiences. And that all life experiences and being in it from a place of infinite consciousness sets the experience free, sets the suffering that the experience inherently held free. And I don't know about you, but I came here to model being in a body from a place of power and liberation. And it moves me because I know it's so. And somewhere, something moves you here. Beyond what you think you can personally gain from it, something deeper actually moves you here. Something deeper actually draws you in here. And it is because you too know that no matter what your life is doing, you are actually here for something greater than the circumstances that you're going through. You're here to bring forth something greater. And that something greater is modeling life from your natural state. It hasn't been, or it's not about getting what you wish on an egoic level out of life. It's about allowing life to humble you so much that you get to be in the experience of something so beautiful and model it throughout whatever. And it doesn't mean that beautiful things won't happen. Chances are that abundance on every level will open up for you, right? Chances are that things start to really click. Chances are that the body's going to go through self-healing. Those are all very likely chances when you allow yourself to live in the complete potential of your essence. And yet, so many great beings that have been in that state, they still had to go through the stroke. And then they went through the stroke, and then they modeled so beautifully how you can go through life with a smile and liberated no matter what your circumstances. And that is what I'm trying to say here, that we don't have to draw a correlation to what we perceive to be a successful life. And we can start to recognize that actually all these heartbreaking moments that life brings, they bring us closer to something deeper. I don't know about you, but for me, it always has brought me closer to something deeper, closer to something more free, more true, more beautiful. And this is not to say that it doesn't hurt. This is not to say that having physical challenges isn't incredibly painful. Of course, you know, on some level it is, and that heartbreak cannot be painful. Of course, when something like that happens, it hurts. When loss happens, it hurts. Okay, that's on one level happening. My invitation is to let all these cracks of experiences be avenues through which you let the pain flow up and out. Avenues through which you get to allow the emergence of something powerful, quietly powerful, your quiet power, your inherent beauty. And it's not yours on an individual level, it's a shared beauty, you know, it's a shared pure love, it's a shared truth, it's a shared clarity. And it's so beautiful because in that, you are also no longer this singular form alone in the world. In that, you are actually the essence that is emanating all of life. And so many people struggling with not feeling connected, feeling disconnected. But you're not, and we're not. And something greater is moving us through the experiences we need to have to free ourselves of that which we try to control and hold on to, and for us to allow ourselves to step into a whole new way of standing in the world. With all the ways in which that hurts, it brings forth something truly beautiful. And maybe you can already recognize that in some ways, how that works, how that happens. That the thing that hurts you most today is actually the thing that in a month from now, when you look back, gave you the biggest expansion, right? So we are always expanding, even when it's hard. And we can start to trust so fully in the intelligence of life that we become one with it consciously. To be a place and a space where infinite potential can be received no matter what it looks like. And knowing that on a feeling-based tonality, it's a beautiful experience. And that all the experiences that you think you wish to have on the egoic level actually are your wishes and desires because you wish to feel these beautiful experiences. But you are the beautiful experiences that you wish to feel. And this is what we've come here to remember, experience, embody, and module in the world. Softening into the body and allowing every cell to open, to pulsate, to release what it no longer needs, and to be receptive to the deeper underlying essence, source code, current of your natural state. Your body informed by the infinite being that you are. Your mind informed by the infinite being that you are. Your energy is shifting into the pulsation of the infinite being that you are. And allowing all of that to ripple out of your skin, melting or merging with the space around you, with the room that you're in, with your home. Recognizing that once you liberate this infinite aspect, you can start to sense it in everything and in everyone. You start to see reality clearly, feel reality clearly, even if reality in this moment isn't acting accordingly, because it is showing a version of life that is based in separation and fear and survival. You now being able to see and feel and perceive the deeper truth of it all, and allow yourself to be informed by it, and then allow that information to ripple out of your body into the world around you. And expanding it beyond your home, into your neighborhood, into the city, village, country, continent, the globe. Maybe you are here to let life strip away the layers that were in the way of you perceiving yourself as this infinite loving essence. And maybe once you embody it, it is time to be of service, seeing that it may lead to certain expansions that you wish, but it will definitely lead to you having the exact experiences that you need to have in order to bring the light, the love, the presence, the consciousness, the truth into this world. Modeling life with grace and warmth and compassion. Yay. Taking a breath. And on the exhale, start moving down through the layers of the earth, spotting your continent, your country, city, village, street, neighborhood, your house, your room, your body, and letting all of that energy fall through the crown, into the midline, through the body, into the pelvis, and through the pelvis into this earth. Anchoring yourself here on earth. Fully trusting, fully ready, fully willing to live out your human life from a place of infinite power, pure love, and clarity. And no matter what that looks like, you know how it's going to feel. Because you're allowing yourself to embody the potential of creation, the pure love of the soul, and live life from there. You can open your eyes, keeping the gaze soft, and slowly bringing your awareness all the way back. Thank you.